the poet. I've heard that writers carry paper with them at all times. I carry memories in my pocket like invisible caterpillars that sooner or later will grow paper wings, painted with words. I've heard that good writers are consistent, organized, and somewhat philosophical. I write on my hand loose thoughts that eventually connect to the first piece of paper I find. I'm the indigenous woman who squats to give birth and then goes back to work on the field. My newborn children are weightless and pale and sleep folded between my breasts until someone calls them a poem. I've heard that writers use proper language. The language I use is borrowed from a culture into which I was not born. Sometimes my R's want to roll away from the page to find a partner of their kind, so they can sound like razors in someone else's mouth. I've heard that writers, well, who cares what I've heard? I'm not just a writer, I'm a poet. I give myself permission to be imperfect, disguise my mistakes, and then call them art. And it is with all my mistakes and all my imperfections, I come to you in honor of Women's History Month to share my personal strength as a woman and to remind all you sisters just how strong, how beautiful, how empowered you are. My name is Maria Palacios. I am the author of The Female King, a collection of poetry full of poems that are having to do with women's strength and the diversity of who we are, how strong we are. Many of us don't know how strong we are, how much we have to offer, how beautiful we really are. We are used to the definition of beauty given by a society that's used to Barbie, and that's not who we are as women. This is a celebration of women's strength and beauty, our diversity, our wisdom, beyond time. The women in my family have always been the stronger gender. The broken mold of traditional values, cussed by society, envied by those who wouldn't dare speak up, say no, grow wings when flying was not something women should do. Daughters, sisters, mothers, nurturers, breadwinners, female warriors of life, whose hands knew nothing about manicures but could silently speak of clotheslines and cotton fields while making breakfast for 6 with just 2 eggs because they'd rather perform miracles than wait for another empty promise from the men who bought beer instead of shoes for their children. The women from my past were soldiers in skirts, who fought against the enemy, who claimed to love them but used the built-in weapon between their legs to feel superior. I am a modern extension of these miracle workers, warrior of a new era, fighting the same war. I am the daughter, sister, mother, nurturer, breadwinner who carries the torch of a movement, a revolution, a proclamation of freedom, a declaration of survival. Thank you for joining me in this declaration of freedom and this declaration of survival. As women, must remember how strong we are. We wouldn't be here where we are today had it not been for women's strength. We are the force that moves the universe. And many women don't know this. I just need to remind you, I feel the urge to remind you how strong you are. This is about our inner strength, the power that we possess as women. And it is with that strength that we must remember that we as women are tired of being held responsible for everything that has gone wrong in the world from the beginning of time. And it is with that thought that I read to you, the Feminist. Do not burden me with your insecurities. It's been a few thousand years since a woman last accepted full responsibility for a man's weaknesses and compulsive behavior. If I hold the fruit from the forbidden tree, it doesn't mean you have to eat from it. You want a piece of paradise? Get your own apple, just as I did. So, you say we were created to be partners. Then why am I the one you try to blame for your lack of willpower, strength, and sense of dignity? I think I'll keep the apple for myself, and I'll sit by the fire in a circle of women who understand about self-respect and stolen trust. Be careful with a snake? Yeah, I already know it's a man. Reconciliation. I shall not confess my sins to a man who pretends to know God in a personal way and whose image implies a status of perfection so far denied to women. If I must admit my faults, it will not be in the presence of someone who's never felt the metamorphic cycle of creation, splitting in his body within a single second. I have formed my own ritual of forgiveness, making my female anatomy a temple of redemption where guilt disintegrates and fear decomposes until it becomes a memory.